Hi, thank you for downloading the PPCDL study guide. This is the module 1 where we will cover about general boating maneuvers based on the rules of the road. In the study guide, we will be covering between rules 1 to 19. So let's have a look at the next slide. Right, so these are the contents. So we will be covering about seamanship, basic seamanship, safe speed, what is safe speed, risk of collision, avoiding collision, what do you do when you're in a crossing situation, or head-on, or when you're in an overtaking situation. Next will be about the narrow channel, what do you do in a tight situations, and in the traffic separation scheme. Yep. So the first part, very important, is to have a good seamanship, and this is based on the rules 2 and 5. So I've actually summarized it into 4 main parts, where basically a good seamanship, you need to be responsible. See, the rules of the road are designed such a way that everyone is responsible for themselves and for others. Okay, and the rules are also designed such a way that you will be required to think ahead of things that may happen, right? So you don't just respond at that very specific moment, but the rules are designed such a way that it will allow you to avoid additional problems in the next instances. Yep. Next will be good seamanship will require you to be aware of the situation. They have all the rules, but you need to be aware of the current conditions that you are in, because you can't just apply the rules as it is, right? So different situations, for example, in a restricted visibility situation, you can just drive fast. Okay, you'll be advised to slow down, but how slow is your judgment. Okay, and that comes to the last part about practicality. Okay, they have all the rules, but you need to be apply as practical as you can. Okay, now the next part will be about safe speed. Okay, it's a very common question where people will ask, how fast can I drive the boat? Honestly, unless it is specified in the for any specific location, generally the safe speed is determined by yourself. You are the captain, okay? But they give you two basic guidelines. Okay, it's a speed where the boat can take proper and effective action, and second, the boat can be stopped within appropriate distance, and this is based on the prevailing conditions. Now, what are they? The first one will be visibility. Okay, in a situation where you can see miles and miles away, definitely you have enough distance to stop. Right. However, if you're in a place where there's a lot of traffic, you would want to be able to stop right there and then. Alright, and again, it must be a speed where you can maneuver nicely, alright, safely. If you want to make a turn, it would turn nicely instead of making a wide turn. Okay, the faster the boat goes, just like a car, the centrifugal force will actually bring you away from the center of the turning radius. So the faster you go, the wider you will turn, right? And the third one will be the wind, sea and current condition. Okay, so, and the fifth one will be background lights. All right, you wouldn't want to drive the boat so fast at night when you are really confused by all the background lights, and you can't make a sense of what is what. Is that a light from the building, or light from a buoy, right? Yeah, so you gotta be careful there. And lastly is a relative draft of your craft with respect to the depth of the seabed. Yeah, so that's safe speed for you. Right, let's move on to risk of collision. Right, so this is based on rule 7. Basically, in essence, if in doubt, say you're driving and you see a boat, if in doubt, the best is to assume that a risk exists. Okay, alright, so this being cautious. Alright, so but then how do we determine? So basically, you get a compass bearing of your boat to the other boat. If it remains relatively unchanged, then the risk exists. So you got to be prepared to make any actions. Alright, and in any action that you make, alright, in avoiding the collision, 3 basic rules. It must be made in ample time. That means it must be in as early as possible. And clear action. That means if you alter the course, you must show the boat that you are altering the course. If the alteration is just 2-3 degrees, nobody can tell that you are actually altering the course. Okay, and safe distance. That means yeah, well away from the other craft. You wouldn't want to make your alteration as close to the craft, and everybody will get confused, and bang, something will happen. Right. Next will be in a crossing situation. Okay, these are only for power-driven vessels. Yeah. The vessel that is on the starboard side of the other vessel is the stand-on vessel. Okay. So for the giveaway vessel, if you are the one on the port side of the other vessel, you have to avoid crossing ahead of the stand-on vessel. Head-on situation. Again, for power-driven vessels, if you are head-on with another vessel, another power-driven vessel, the rule says that you are to alter your course to the starboard. It doesn't mean that you turn all the way starboard, but you just alter your course to the starboard to make way for the other vessel. Same goes to the other one. Now, what if you are approaching another vessel? Okay, take note, another vessel, not only power-driven vessel, and you are slowly creeping up to him, and there's a chance that you might be overtaking. So you may not be sure, hey, am I overtaking the boat or not? So basic rule is that if in doubt, assume that overtaking is taking place. Alright, but in any way, how do we actually determine that it is taking place? That means that if you are approaching the other vessel and you are about 32.5 degrees from either side behind the beam of the stand-on vessel, then overtaking exists. Alright, at night, that means once you can see the side light, that means the green light or the red light of the stand-on vessel, that means you are in a overtaking situation. In any case, an overtaking vessel must keep out of the way of the overtaken vessel. And when you are overtaking, it should not result in a crossing situation. Meaning, if you are overtaking the other vessel, the stand-on vessel, you shouldn't alter your course such a way that you are crossing in front of him. Okay? Unless you are well clear away from the stand-on vessel, and if you want to alter your course, so be it. Alright, but well away. Narrow channel. Alright, so there are a few situations over here. In general, first thing is that you have to travel as near to the starboard side of the channel. Okay. In all situations also, any vessel which is trying to cross the channel must give way. You are the last. Alright, so you always give way to the other vessels. There's also a rule for vessels that are less than 20 meters, sailing vessels and fishing vessels shall not impede any other vessels that's making way in this channel, right? And lastly, if you are overtaking, please signal your intention and the vessel that's being overtaken to reply with one long blast. Traffic separation scheme. Right, so in essence, follow the designated traffic flow and keep away from the separation line. Of course, you can see the line on the water, but in general, you stay away from that middle line. Okay, and if you are joining the TSS to join at a small angle, alright, so people know that you are actually joining the flow, alright, and to cross at the right angle, again, people can see that you are crossing, alright. If your angle is small, people will think that you are joining, okay, and this is slightly highway, so avoid anchoring, okay. In general, out there is a rule of thumb, order of right of way. So in essence, a typical small power driven vessel has the least of right of way. This is very simple because you have the best maneuverability. Nothing is affecting you. You're not doing any work. So yeah, please make way for others. Followed by sailing. Alright, you are not working, you are just sailing around, but of course with using wind power, so a bit of restriction. Next will be fishing. You're on motor, but you have something that you're pulling, so they allow you to have slightly more right of way. Constrained by draft. Yes, this is very important. It makes sense, you see, because if your draft is constrained, you have so much room for maneuver, so you need the right of way. And vessels that are restricted in ability to maneuver, followed by vessels not under command. Alright, lastly will be induced visibility. Alright, in general, there's 4 recommended actions, which is honestly makes sense. One is to slow down. Remember your safe speed, the very first thing that we spoke about. Keep your engine running, alright, because you never know when you might need to alter your course. And in any case, avoid altering your course to port, and avoid altering your course to vessels that are aft or behind you, or a beam to your sides. That is in general. Alright, so people expect you to be moving forward. Okay, these are the basic recommended actions so that we avoid any unwanted situations. Right, so thank you for listening to the video. Just to share with you, you can visit ppcdlacademy.com if you want to try out our free 30 sample PPCDL theory test questions, or if you would like to challenge yourself, you can get yourself our 150 questions. So try it out, and hopefully it will prepare you for the theory test that's coming up. So all the best.